Alright, so back to this. Let me get the timer up. First and foremost, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like kind of dog shit right now. But we also left off at a pretty annoying part that I wanted to get past, so we've got a double battle into a Solaris fight. We lost literally by like the smallest amount, but he leads off with Staraptor, so we're shifting Ampharos in front for that reason, and I think that should be enough. Again, it's like, where the fuck do you think you're going? And Lynn just gives the most like corny over the top answer. It's like, flies eat no answers no matter how much they buzz. Like, just the corny. But then the big thing is, watch this, So, and again, like Lynn ordering Solaris, right? That's why I'm like, that was such a crazy thing, because, obviously there's been kind of the whole Lynn usurping Solaris thing for quite some time, even before like Taka and Ace like have kind of actually like talked to us or like had their conversation about it. Again, that's something that has been going on for quite some time, right? Ever since, she was introduced. So, but I didn't think it would be as overt as her giving Solaris an order. That's one, like, that's kind of insane, I was gonna say, Solaris, he kind of fell off. Like his status and reputation is kind of like plummeted since, that time at Pyrus where, we had our confrontation, even him and Borealis, right, at the ancient temple, and it's kind of fallen off since then, right? That's why it's like, that's just such kind of a crazy thing that, because Lynn is still, we don't really know, at least we have, via Taka's dialogue, we have somewhat of an origin for, like, Solaris, and again, like, because apparently it runs in the lineage, they're, like, grandparents, right? Looked after the temple or whatnot, and they, like, just paved over it, and again, Team Meteor started off as, like, kind of more of, like, what was the term he used? I guess, like, guardians, and then it kind of shifted over time due to Solaris's, like, attitudes, right? But Lynn is just kind of a nobody that just came out of nowhere and all of a sudden, is doing all these kind of crazy, like, things, I was gonna say, because the Seismic is part ground, so we can't use an electric move against it, so yeah, we're just getting the movie Polo out of here. But again, so like Lynn kind of coming out of nowhere and all of a sudden calling the shots is like pretty crazy. Yeah, this is a pretty horrible setup, but again, we just need, because the main thing is, again, we just need we need Ampharos in front for the Solaris fight. And I think we'll have no issue being Solaris in that regard. Damn. Oh, wow, we survived that. Damn. Alright, so, Seismitoad, Magneton. I think we just send out Superior to deal with the Seismitoad, right? Because the Magneton's will do everything. Yeah, just get it out of here. Let's do target the Lapras. So that just turns it into electric turret. It's basically just electric terrain. Yeah. I don't know why I feel like dog shit. Yeah, target the lantern. I should have used Hydring, but my worry is that it wouldn't actually kill it. It would survive on like 1 HP. So yeah, I'd rather just take a hit. Oh, is that the fight? Damn, who's... Alright, well, I was gonna say, just send out Leopard for whoever comes in, because we can just fake it out. And yeah, hopefully the Rampardos can just finish it off. But yeah, now we got the Solaris fight, right? You know? Yeah, it's like, honestly, saw shit coming. Oh yeah, and I think, alright, Sirius just says some random bullshit, but again, the main thing, the Orderly was gonna be like, I'll handle it. And what's funny is because Solaris is like, he's facing Hardy as this is happening. And yeah, this is our second 1v1, you know, but we beat Solaris in the 2v2, right? So, and this is why it's like Solaris, this is what I've been saying, Solaris says all this. Like, he's saying all this, he's talking a big talk, right? But at the end of the day, he still took orders from Lynn. So, you know, you're saying all of this, but you're getting usurped in your own organization, right? Solaris just doesn't carry the same weight it did, you know, like 20 hours ago, right? Or like 20, 30 levels ago, so. But yeah, again. So it cuts attack, right? But again, we're special attackers, so return. So, yeah, and again. So hopefully we outspeed it. I was gonna say we kill it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Excadrill, and again, who was our best? Don't send an Arcanine. It was Hawlucha, right? Hawlucha was our best bet for this Excadrill. And did it have a focus sash? I forget. It did, you know. But what's nice is we can just, well, I was gonna say I don't think that'll actually kill us, but let's say it did, we could just like, oh, it dies anyway to the tail. Sizor, you know, this is where we send out Arcanine. His Garchomp's really the main issue, you know. This battle is going a lot better, you know. And then he's just left with his Garchomp and his Gyarados, so. Yeah, what I might do, so is he gonna send in his Garchomp? I might stay in on Hawlucha and use, I'm gonna stay in on Hawlucha and use Endeavor to bring it down to just half. Unless it outspeeds us, is it gonna, yeah, no, so we still outspeed it. Dragon Claw. Yeah, so that kills us, but it's on less than half, right? So, it's kind of a question of, my issue is Ampharos gets bodied. I'm not comfortable with saying it Ampharos unless I can get like a Bulldoze off, but I don't know if that's actually viable. Again, we're gonna send out Leopard. I think a Fake Out and a Play Rough should be able to deal enough damage. Yeah, I'm thinking this should be enough damage, hopefully. What? That may have single-handedly fucked up the entire fight. That single miss, I may have to redo this entire thing because of that. That is fucking ridiculous. How? Hold on. You're fucking kidding me. Is that not 100% accurate? Come on. That single-handedly... Alright, I think Serperior is our next best bet. I think with the amount of HP it's on, we'll be able to kill this Serperior. Again, that is just fucking ridiculous. Oh my god, you're kidding me. That's like, okay, at least it got the miss. I was gonna say, you know, us missing that, like, Play Rough, was just like, and now, again, it's just, you know, the Gyarados, right? So, yeah, now, I'm not gonna lie, I was also gonna, like, you know, tweak out, like, because, yeah, that missing is pretty Gyarados has a hard counter to Mox. I was not aware Gyarados even get Moxie. That's a problem. Fuck, dude. Like, what is our best bet here? I'm thinking our best bet is to go into Garbodor and explode. I think that's the move here. But an Earthquake Moxie, when the fuck did it... You know what, here's the thing though, yeah, I don't send in Garbodor, because now that its attack's been raised, that's like an issue. Use Leaf Blade here, we still outspeed it, hasn't gotten a Dragon Inside. Outrage. Okay, and this should hopefully kill it, and if not, at least again, it gets high. Adults cry, what the fuck? What is this dude talking about, you know? Yeah, Loki's serious is like, I think serious is saying the quiet part out loud, you know? That's why it's like, you know, Solaris, he talks a big talk, right? He talks a big game, right? But again, he just doesn't carry the same way he did earlier, now that he's taking shots from Lynn. You know? Damn, alright, kind of crazy. Alright, so, but I mean, we know Sirius at the end of the day kind of sided with Lynn. That's why I'm saying, you know, a lot of the old guard is gone. The old guard of Team Meteor is gone, right? You know, Sirius was kind of the last of that, and he made his choice to jump ship with Lynn, right? I was gonna say, like, the old team, you know, Solaris just doesn't carry the same weight they did, you know? Damn, dude, this is why, like, that's such a crazy, like, you know, because again, Taka's dead. Like, his son is dead. And seemingly, who was going to be the rightful heir to Team Meteor? Like, seemingly, because I want to say this was seemingly a decade-long plan, or a decade-long, you know, development, right? And it's all at the end, it's all kind of falling apart, right? So, yeah, that's kind of a crazy thing to say. Damn, yeah. So I'm curious because I was gonna say, I'm curious as to what Solaris, like, that's why I'm like, he's in probably the most interesting position out of anyone as to what he can do. Because, like, again, he's seemingly aware his son died. What circumstances questionable, right? Same thing with Ace, but it's like, what's his, like, you know, no one was here except for us, you know. Yeah, and again, this is why it's like, you know, so is he really not aware that Taka's gone? Like, you know, yeah, did you win for this and neglect to mention that? Like, you know, Lynn never brought up that, like, and again, so he's talking about Lynn. That's why I'm like, was Solaris not aware that Taka's gone? Like, Taka's literally dead, right? You know, and seemingly, I guess, Solaris was just complete. I figured he at least knew, you know, because he at least knew that Ace was dead, right? So, yeah, and again, that's why it's like, because this is the one thing I said, Sirius as like, I mean, the Team Meteor admins are just a fuck ton of freaks, right? But, you know, and then Lynn, obviously, you have the up-and-coming, you know, prodigy. But the one thing I talked about, Sirius was definitely one of the most, like, competent, like, admins, you know, at least, like, with how he carries himself. I mean, he survived the fucking explosion, so it's like, we still don't know how he survived that, by the way. But again, that's why it's like, you know, again, like, it's interesting, like, Solaris is talking to Sirius. I don't think he realizes Sirius is kind of the last, you know, like I said, the old guard, you know. So, and again, that's why it's like, this is kind of the reality check Solaris needs. Like, he's just not in the same position he was earlier in the game. Yeah, that's why that is actually a very interesting point. Because, like, you know, it's now all just the New World Order leagues. That's kind of a reality check where it's like, look, like, there's not a single Team Meteor grunt here, or Ace. It's all the New World Order. Like, you know, that's why it's like, I think this is very interesting, especially because I don't want to say Sirius was the right-hand man to Solaris, but it kind of seemed that way, right? You know, and then Lynn again kind of came and shook up everything, you know, that I acquired through Dr. Connell, you know. Yeah, I was gonna say, who were the fucking Sigma? Like, we have not seen that dude for, like, most of the fucking game at this point. Like, I was gonna say, we know he's still around, we just haven't seen him, you know. Not your shambling organization, you know. Yeah, that's why I was like, you know, because a lot of the grunt, we saw this, like, not just the grunts, but the admins too. A lot of them are gone. Like, they left, or they're either dead or they're gone. Like, they no longer believe in that same goal or ideal, right? You know, chase those keys. Yeah, and again, it's like so serious. Like, I don't want to say he's betraying him, but it's more so like, because I don't want to call it a betrayal, but I think it's more so just Sirius realized what Solaris wouldn't, and that, you know, the old Team Meteor was gone, or was faded, right? Even before Lynn had shown up, right? And that's why I said, you know, I think this is something that, like, everyone had kind of seen coming. You know, I mean, obviously it's a big deal now that Solaris is being told to his face, and especially, like, because he's probably tuning out this bullshit. He's honestly probably thinking about his son. Because again, you know, Sirius kind of dropped the bomb that, you know, oh yeah, Taco, your son, you know, don't know what happened to him. You know, yeah, you show voice in the wind, you know. Damn, what the fuck? Alright, that's kind of crazy. You know, I was gonna say, him running, alright, dude, that's why I'm like, Solaris, the greatest loss of, like, going from just, like, annihilating us with his guard shot, you know, to him running like that. That's crazy, you know. That's why I was like, and, like, this is a horrible, oh, we better get to talk to him, because, you know, and again, this is kind of this has to be a wake-up call, because it is, like, not only is, like, the organization no longer his, but again, more so the fact that, yeah, his son is gone. Like, you know, that's something that, like, I don't think we can underestimate the impact there, right? So, because despite, you know, everything he says, right, you know, he seems to be, like, again, like I said, you know, literally the last of the old guard, where they actually believed in, like, kind of the new world to be brought about by TV. But now it's just Lynn, and again, Lynn, yeah, I want to come across Dr. Khan a little bit, you know. Man, shut the fuck up, you know. Yeah, Lynn. Are we about to fight Lynn? Are we actually about to go fight Lynn now? Dude. Rip. Yeah, that's why I'm like, honestly, because I didn't even see it from that, you know. That was low-key a really hard line where Sirius was like, look around you. Do you recognize any of these faces? And it's all the New World Orderlies, right? They're not actually like Team Meteor grunts, you know. I mean, obviously, you still got Meteor Aces rolling around, but it's like, just in that moment, it was ironic that it was all, oh my god, yeah, I was gonna say. So it looks like, yeah, we got a boss fight with Lynn coming up. Let's lead off with Leonhard. Yeah, that's it. Looks like we're gonna fight Lynn here, you know. Yeah, Lynn's like, the flies, hello? Bro, I didn't even want to fight you. I was just gonna, like, you know, I was just gonna check up on her, you know, make sure that she was good. I guess, who wants to fight us, right? You know. Yeah, that's why I'm like, Solaris is in a very interesting position at this point. And I think it's kind of poetic that, again, Sirius, goddamn, Sirius was kind of the one who, like, put him in his place, right? It wasn't even Lynn. Like, Lynn didn't even have to do that herself. Oh well, dodge due to hail and so. ironic, you know, because like in a sense, it's like it's almost like I was talking about, or I was saying it's ironic because we're listening to remix of that. I think it's ironic given that it's almost like the reverse Jetsis situation, where you think, you know, Solaris would be the Jetsis equivalent, right? You know, he'd be like the Jetsis equivalent, but, you know, it ends up being he's the one who's kind of thrown out, right? Damn, I was gonna say, I didn't even know Gary drove. But yeah, it's like, so I'm very curious what the next Solaris interaction is going to be like. Hey, my bad, bro. I didn't even want to fight you. You initiated that. You know? Criminals aren't the only ones to be too rough on opponents. Alright, honestly, though, it's a new world order. You can kind of let them go away, right? But, yeah, I was going to say, also, have these guys made progress in their, you know, on their fronts, right? But it is just so crazy, right? So yeah, I was gonna say, okay, no, they're still fighting. What about? Yeah, they're still fighting. Yeah, but that's like, I think that was an overdue moment. But again, you know, so kind of all saw that coming. No surprise there. But I'm curious, are we about to have our first Lin fight? You know, I think seemingly we're about to have our first Lin fight, right? Oh damn, hello? Woman with green hair, you know, into the water? What the fuck? You know, damn, I wonder. Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, they mean the water here? I was so confused. I'm like, because there's no other way to go, right? Because, yeah, that's also this. Oh, so she waterfalled up, right? Yeah, so again, we're seemingly gonna have our first confrontation with Lin. Also, let me do a max recall just so we don't get like some like stupid encounter. Yeah, I'm curious because like, so I guess Zell, you know, I was gonna say, so Zell is seemingly also like kind of so what is it, you know? Hey, give me that shit. I was gonna say Zell and I guess Solaris, so like I said, the last of the old guard, right? This is the way we're supposed to go, supposed to dive here? Oh, I guess that's what they meant by going into the water like that. Let's, is this a place to resurface? Let me go into this little, hold on. Damn, rip these, we are supposed to go in whatever cave. Yeah, so Lars's loss of aura has to be studied. That was kind of an insane. Not only him getting ordered by Lin and then just running away like that was low-key. But I mean, to be fair, you gotta kind of feel bad for the guy, because that's why, like I said, this is seemingly Team Meteor is seemingly a decades-long thing. And again, it seemed like the end goal was to have his son basically take over. That's why it's like, it's almost like a reverse Jetsis, you know? and just at the end for it to all kind of, you know, like fall apart like that, right? Not even like he loses, but just he gets usurped by like a complete nobody. Lynn's like a nobody. We have no idea where she came from, you know. How are you breathing? Dude, I'm so confused. The gaggle is already broke. What the gaggle above? Oh, you know. What the fuck is she talking about, you know? Oh, you mean the source to what? Like, what the fuck? And Lynn's like, hey, you know, what the fuck are you talking about, you know? It's like, hey, the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, dude, I was gonna say she just Lynn is just saying shit. She just like yaps like more than anyone else in the game. Like she just says shit like. What did she just spawn? Is that the arc pulse? That's what we suspected. I feel like, you know, they actually had a completed arc pulse. You know, how did we just get? Hello. We just watching her like push this shit? Like we gonna do nothing to like stop that? Like how the fuck are there force down here? I was gonna say we literally just like we just had a casual conversation. Lynn's like, hey, you know, and then we just like watched her push that shit out of there. Hello, did we really just like let that happen? So now is that now where we're supposed to surface here? I guess not. So I guess we're supposed to just go back. Because that's probably what she meant. Yeah, so we can see that those admins are no longer there. So, or the Team Meteor Grunts. Yeah, we really just let Lynn leave. Dude, like, we had that conversation as she was a friend. It's like, oh, hey, what's up, you know? Let's see. Probably where, damn, also I was gonna say, you know, she's got the shine. That's not even a shiny Hydreigon. It must be a Pulse 2 Hydreigon. That's probably what it is. But you know, the world doesn't. What the fuck is she talking about? Yeah, dude, that's why I'm like, dude, she just says shit. Like she'll just like say the most random bullshit. Damn, Rip just annihilated. Seal gets like killed. So is that Lynn's Gardevoir? So we know she has a Hydreigon Gardevoir. Bitch, oh, she's like, you know, he's literally in a black hole. She's dead. You know, stupid ass, you know, point, right? Damn, just like kills, Seal leaves. I was gonna say like, you know, it's like, damn, that's crazy. Kills one of the main characters, leaves, like. And I was gonna say I don't want to say, you know, like what's it called? I don't want to say that's the same Gardevoir. I'm curious, is that's got to be the Arc Pulse, right? You know. Damn, hello. So what's the plan now? Go back to Calcinon? Because seemingly that's where they're going. You know. I mean, what do you? I mean, it keeps happening because that's kind of the like, I feel like obviously, you know, in the games, it's like a happily ever after thing, right? But that's like the nature of the like official mainline games, right? There's obviously never going to be like, I mean, I guess you do get some bittersweet moments in the mainline games. You know, you get quite a few, honestly, but it's never going to be to the extent where like people just, all right, I say that, but then like they actually kill off people. But besides the point, right? That's just kind of the reality. Not everything's going to have a happy ending, you know, like. And again, it's like, I mean, you kind of, that's why it's like, it's kind of like, you know, that going into, you know, and this is what, you know, where the fuck did Harry, I was going to say, this is kind of what Florinia was talking about, right? You know. So are we going to Calcinon? Is he a gym leader? You know, oh my god, we'll roll back up to Calcinon. So, hold on. What gym is... Also, yeah, I was gonna say, there we go. What gym was he at, right? Oh, we can actually enter all these places now. Oh. Damn, my bad. So, I'm gonna be honest, I actually have no idea. So, dude, I don't know whose gym that is. Like... Hey, yo, dude, the Aqua Gang. You know... Oranguru. Oh. Dude, the Aqua Gang. Real ones were part of the Aqua Gang. Oh, my God. That's hilarious. That you know, whole thing is still getting, like, referenced, like, this deep in. Am I stupid or did I already go up? This is a separate way. That's what I was gonna say. Oh shit, we on a completely different route? Ground memory. That's what I was gonna say, you know. The Aqua Gang still getting referenced this deep in is kind of crazy. So that's how we get here. Because yeah, this is obviously right outside. However, we were never able to waterfall down this before, so... It must have been blocked off and it just opened up. Also, like I said, I have no idea what gym that dude runs. So I may need to look. I want to explore the rest of this town first. Yes. Oh yeah, we Did I go in this? Yeah, I was gonna say. That is low-key pretty kind of like crazy, you know. Hey, this is, we can finally, I was gonna say, you know, we can finally actually, like, who the hell is this? Bitch, clean your fucking room, goddamn. Property manager. Yeah. Last property, you know. Team Meteor logo. Bitch, that's kind of crazy, you know. So 6 letters. Hey, don't worry about that shit, dog. Hold on. Because I do actually... Does the card actually have anything? Bitch, it doesn't say, you know... The card doesn't actually say anything, you know. What's cool is we're actually starting to get, you know, all these, yeah. Say this is as if I'm supposed to know what's on there. I'm probably never gonna. Damn, they renovated? Yeah, but. So I will look up what that dude's gym is, right? So that'll be the 17th, and then I guess the last one will be whoever's the leader for Calcinon, right? That's what it's like. I'm pretty sure I know who all... It's just like I keep forgetting because like they're obviously just involved in the story in other ways. Damn, this dude just woke up. He slept through the entire thing, you know. Yeah, I was gonna say this dude... Alright, well, he just leaves. Yeah, that dude literally just slept through the entire conflict. Yeah, the circus low-key. What is this? Oh, so this is, oh my god, so... Yeah, the circus is just right through there. It's weird because obviously, you know... Hey, they're all probably dead, you know. Yeah, again, so... Yeah, what... Is he actually... Is there a gym in Agate? Am I stupid? That it probably is, honestly, and I'm just like... Sleep for 8. Stay up for double the amount of time I was asleep for, you know? I mean, yeah, but it's also like, you know, obviously you have to, like, do shit, right? So it's like, the main thing is the time you use with that, you know, again, like, awake time, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, is there a gym? I didn't think there was. So I'm curious as to where Solaris went off to, right? That's why it's like, you know, I mean, to be fair, like you'd think they would be aware of that shit, right? I guess we're doing side quests at this point. I was gonna say, like, maybe that's where the numbers are. Hello? That kid disappeared? Huh. I was gonna say, literally just an empty room. Maybe something shows up there later. Huh, I guess so. Yeah, there literally is. I don't know why I thought his gym would be somewhere else, but damn, so where the fuck did Solaris run off to? I was gonna say, like, again, we're not actually fighting that. That'll be a next part ordeal, but so yeah, that's basically it, right? I mean, I don't think there's anything else to Agate. Yeah, that's basically just. Yeah, and I have no idea what that code could be. Again, we have the card and it doesn't, you know, show, but we should be good for this gym. Let me just, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm assuming we have to go through like standard gym puzzles, right? So, Agate City Gym. Oh yeah, it literally says gym puzzle, Agate Arena, right? Oh my god, it's a typing thing? Hold on. Oh yeah, Rockstar Hardy. Just show me the actual, you know. I want to see what kind of team he runs. So, Rocky Field. Oh, that's a dumbass point. You know, he's got we already know his team because we fought with it, you know, but it's he runs a rock type gym. So what I'll do is, damn, 4 of his Pokemon are mono rock. That's kind of insane, and the other 2 are rock flying. I feel like it seems deceptively easy at that point, right? But that's why, like, I don't want to presume. Let me preemptively kind of go and like make some adjustments to my team, right? Let's just preemptively go and make some adjustments. So, do we have a particularly good team? Arcanine doesn't really do anything against rock. I hate to say it. Yeah, we haven't used some of these guys in a hot minute. Yeah, Kricketune, Pachirisu, even Jinx. Sea King is good against rock, right? You know, just having a water type. And then again, Medicham is good as well. We can replace, I'm thinking Garbodor, because again, Ampharos can be good for the flying types. Again, if they carry a ground type move though, that does kind of suck, but yeah. Garbodor doesn't really, I think Leopard's a pretty, I don't know. Because, yeah, we're Hawlucha, I mean, just because it has fighting, you know, so Superior, obviously, Sea King, obviously, Ampharos, you know, for the flying. So maybe what we end up doing is, yeah, no, I'd say I'd rather keep Leopard than Garbodor, because, again, any ground type move would just kill Garbodor. So, you know, I'm thinking this is kind of what the setup we roll with for the fight. I'm going to move Sea King in front just so we can get like the extra XP on him, you know, in like the whatever gym trainer battles before the actual like leader battle itself. So again, I'm just going to say in front of the, and yeah, that's, so I'd say this was kind of the official, you know, at this point, right? So we have the official usurping of Solaris, not even by Lyn, but by Sirius, right? Obviously, who was kind of once the right-hand man of Solaris is now, you know, again, the right-hand man to Lyn, right? So not even by, but again, I think I'm very curious as to what the, I don't think Solaris is gone. Like, I think obviously we're going to have see more of him in the future, but I do think I'm very curious as to kind of, you know, what that'll look like, right? Given that, again, his son is gone. Right, so Tak is gone, and now again, that was a great way to put it. Honestly, like low key, that's kind of, you know, the moment of realization where Sirius was like, "Look around you. Do you like recognize any of these faces?" And it's all the New World Orderlies, right? So again, it's like we you know, we'll see. This is some relaxing ass music, but again. So what's nice is we're about to fight the second to last gym, and then it's probably everything's going to come to a hold at Calcinon. My guess is, because we have no idea what that was, but if we had to guess, it's probably an Arc Pulse. So, because they seemingly have at least 2 of the 3, because they got the Pulse Clawitzer, Pulse Mime, which are actually defending Calcinon, and what they used to bombard, or defending Labrador and what they used to bombard Calcinon. There's the Pulse 2, which is just a pulse to like subjugate your Pokemon, and then the Arc Pulse, which is what we're presuming that Lin took. So again, the one kind of thing that like irks me, or I guess, you know, that the one question I have is, what about all the artifacts, like, or the, you know, the what is it called, amulets, the gems or whatever, because those have changed hands so many times, and seemingly Team Meteor has none, maybe like one of them, right? But like, other than that, they seemingly don't got, so I'm kind of curious how that's going to come to a headway, right? But because they seemingly need that, you know, Arceus and the Arc Pulse, and then, you know, whatever Lin at this point plans on doing with it, because Solaris was ousted. And I'm still curious as to what Lin's origin. We have 0 ideas to Lin's origin. We can kind of fill in the gaps for Solaris based on what on Taka's dialogue. But we have 0 clues to what happened, where Lin comes from. But I guess that stuff we'll end up seeing later. But with that, don't really much else to say. So yep, that's it for this one. See you in the next one.